And we are online right now. Let's see. Yes, we are online. And hello, hello, hello. How are you?
Hello, how are you, Mr. Mir? I'm very good. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you. How are you doing?
Very good. I'm doing very well today. Thank you.
Good. Very good to hear.
Of course, thanks.
So, what are we going to talk about today?
Yes, small introduction to the audience, and we can come back to Mr. Mir again. Of course, I'm Leo, the founder of Canada Investors Club and wecoachy.com. And probably Toronto people may know a little bit about me. I'm doing some businesses, a software development company, and some other businesses. And I'm a real estate investor. I love real estate and doing businesses. So Canada Investors Club started recently, about 3 years back, with the point in mind to find more investors and give more value to the business owners. Because I was searching for more knowledge in business and searching for mentors and coaches, but up to 3 years from now, I didn't really know any proper coach or mentors. I couldn't do anything much, and I was really struggling for the last 16, 17 years in the business. After that, I really got to know yes, mentorship and coaching is an amazing way to grow whatever qualified you are. And of course, I met many people. So I'm going to talk today about an event, amazing event, which is going to happen in 31st July and August 1st and 2nd. It's an online event because of the pandemic situation. I'm going to talk to Mr. Mir Isra, our keynote speaker. Many of you know all over the world, he is an inventor, banker, professional speaker, author, and philanthropist. Of course, more than that, he is a mentor and advisor of one of my mentors as well. So I'm so blessed to have Mr. Mir here. And of course, few years back, probably 2 years back, I met Mr. Mir in one of the events in Toronto. I was totally blown away with his experience and explanation. And of course, still I can recall the whole conversation. And of course, I noticed and I heard that he made his first million when he was in 30 years old or what. But if that is correct, Mr. Mia can let me know that. And at the same time, now in this market in 2020 or in 2000, yes, making a million may be easy. But 30 years back or what, I never think it is not an easy game. I can't
It
even
wasn't
picture.
one. It wasn't 1 million. It was 100.
Yes,
100 million
100
years.
million. Oh my God, I can't even take this interview anymore. Because how many years back, Mr. Mia, before the introduction, it is something very crucial. How many
Yeah,
years back you made that million?
I'm 56, so it's happened 25 years ago.
Wow, 25 years ago. Guys, think about it. If you can dream anything big, let me know. I don't think I can. So, welcome, Mr. Mayor. Thank you so much for your time. Hereafter, I don't want to talk anything. I want to ask small questions in my capacity. Thank you. Please explain a little bit of how you made that million. Probably you are going to talk about that in the event because you are going to have two amazing topics. One of that is, give me a second, I will go to the topic. First one is surprising state of mind of a winner. Second topic here we are going to talk about is why don't you have money? Of course,
Yeah.
30 years back or 25 years back, you made 100 million. Who else can talk about that? Please give some introduction, how you did, and then talk about this one. Thank you.
Okay, good. So first of all, hi everyone that listening to us, and thank you for inviting me.
It's a great pleasure.
Um, so how did I make the 100 million? Is you need to understand a basic principle. Uh, if you make something complex or complicated, it will never happen. Things happen only because you think that they are simple. If you think that they are simple, they will happen. If you think that they are complex, it will not happen. So everything in life should go towards simplicity, but people at the beginning, when they are born, they think that everything is simple. They're children and everything look to them simple and they're just living. And they go towards complexity.
Mhm.
So you can say that the more you see life as a complex thing, the worse your life will get. So your job or my job as someone that teaches is actually to remove complexities to the degree that you can just think it and it will happen. And you will see that the more complexity there is, the slower things happen.
Yes.
And the slowest is when you die. When you die, you are really slow. Nothing happens.
Yes.
So you'll see that basically, if you can make things simpler, only in your mind, it doesn't even have to happen in real life, then things will happen. And I'll tell you the story of how I made this first 100 million US dollars
Yes.
and how I continue to make more and more money. And the story goes like that. I was in the Israeli army, and I was, or maybe I will start a little bit even before. I
I
was
like.
born. I was born with my both feet looking backward.
I heard that it is something really I can't even imagine something.
Yes, it's like it was very weird. It's very rare that something like that happened. Some people have club foot that the foot is a little bit inside, but my feet was just looking backward, just totally
Wow.
backward. And the doctors put me in cast up to my hips, and every 3-4 days they will break the feet and turn them and turn them and turn them, and it took them 6 years, and eventually the feet looked forward, but they couldn't move
No. Okay.
because they broke the whole joints and everything. So the whole ankle was destroyed, and they told me that probably I will never walk and definitely won't do anything to do with any effort or something like that. And I said, no, I think I can do it. And by the age of 18, I went to the Israeli army and I volunteered to a very special unit. I volunteered to become a diver. Now, this is a course that takes 2 years. We started 4,000 people.
Whoa.
And after 2 years, we ended up 21.
Okay.
So it's a very, very difficult course mentally and physically. And the reason that I managed to do that is because in those days there was no computers, and they asked me, do I have any physical problem? And I said, no, of course I could hardly walk.
Oh my God.
And I've done the whole thing with lots of pain, but I wanted to do it. And for me, it was, yeah, of course it can be done. It's not a problem. It can be done. Pain is just a pain. And I went through this whole thing with this frame of mind. And I can do it because I decide that I can do it. And the first thing that I applied, the first thing that I've learned in that very, very, very difficult course is that whenever it was difficult for me, like I couldn't anymore, when I took pieces of wood and I will eat the wood because it was so painful and my feet was so swollen and it was like I couldn't touch them, but I had to continue to walk or to run or to do whatever. What I started to think there is I developed something that I call the 5-second rules. The 5-second rule is a rule that says I can do anything for 5 seconds more. I can do anything for 5 seconds more. And what I've done, I didn't consider that I'm actually running for 6 hours. I considered that I ran many 5 seconds. Every time I decided on the next 5 seconds and on the next 5 seconds and on the next 5 seconds. And that's what I was doing. I was doing 5 seconds at a time. Many, many, many 5 seconds. So for me, it wasn't 6 hours of running. It was 5 seconds, many 5 seconds. And I've done the whole course and I finished the course. And I was a fighter there, and for 6 years I was in the army. And after that, I went to the Far East. I was in the Far East for 2 years, climbed the Himalaya, did all kind of thing.
Okay.
And one day I had no money anymore. Now it's weird that for a Jewish person to have no money, but I got stuck with no money. I was sure that because I'm Jewish, God will give me money. He didn't.
Okay.
So I heard that in South Africa, there is a guy that was looking for a programmer and never programmed in my life. And I called him and he says, "Can you program?" And I said, "Of course I can program. It must be simple." I arrived to South Africa to this guy, never saw a PC in my life. It was the beginning of PCs. It's like just, I don't know if you remember XT. It was the beginning of PCs. And he says, "Well, here's the computer, start." And then I started to program. I started a company and I started to program for him. And very quickly I realized that programming is something that is not so smart because it's repeating itself. So I wrote program that write programs.
All right.
And I sold that company. And I sold it at that time. I thought that it's a lot of money. I sold it for $100,000.
All right.
And I thought that it's a lot of money. I thought
Which
it's
year was
a
that?
lot. Yeah, I was like 27 or something like that, 28. So I've done $100,000 and I thought that I'm a billionaire because at that time, $100,000 was a lot of money. Yeah. Anyway, so I started to use the money and I spent the money and I spent the money and I spent the money. And one day I stuck with no money again. Finished the $100,000. No money. I didn't know, I couldn't speak English.
All right.
And I decided that, and I was coming back from the Far East and I was decided that I'm going to sell to BP. It's a big oil company, some kind of a system that fight fuel fraud. Now, the problem was that before me, there was a guy, there was a company, big company that was trying to sell this system for 7 years and they just went bankrupt. They couldn't make it. So when I came to the company that supplied the equipment and I said, I want to sell it, they say, you cannot sell it. Someone just invested millions of dollars and went bankrupt. You have long hair, earrings, you cannot speak English and you want to sell it? I said, yes. And they said, no, it's impossible. And I say, it is possible. I took that software, I took that product, I went to BP and I sold it. And in 3 months, I closed the deal for $100 million US, not knowing how to speak English.
Wow.
And how it happened, because I was sure that I can. Like I was sure that I can program, like I was sure that I can do this course in the army. I was just sure that I can. I couldn't, but I was sure that I can. So I did.
Yeah.
Now there is a way to get to this state of mind. It's something that you can learn. It is not something that you are born with. There is a technique to learn how to be so sure that anything you touch turns to gold. Wow. And that's what I'm going to teach.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. Yes, audience, you can see what a great achievement of $100 million 25 years back. So you people are dreaming in your chart or whatever New Year resolution, you have to make 5 million, 10 million. So where else can you go? This is the only place, July 31st, August 1st and 2nd. He's going to have 2 sessions. First one is the surprising state of mind of a winner. That is what already he talked about. But can you give little more points, Mr. Mayor, about that first topic, the keynote, what you are going to present?
Yeah. So there is some kind of a viewpoint that is quite surprising, that if you will understand what you see, in order to be successful, you need to know you're going somewhere. And to go somewhere is not to set up a purpose or a goal, because people setting up purposes and goals every year and every week and every month, and nothing happened. Yeah. Nothing. They're setting up goals and they're failing, and they're setting up goals and they're failing. And it sounds good and it sounds logical that you need to set up goals, but I don't think you need to set up goals. I never set up a goal. What I do something totally totally different. I don't set up goals. I do something with my mind and I define something totally different. And the purpose and the goal becomes something so obvious that I don't need to set it up. It's like in front of me, where most of the people need to write it down and they need a vision board. So there is too much effort. When there is effort, when it's difficult, when it's complex, it will not happen. When you write, if you need to now think, oh, 1 second, I need to look at my vision board. How do I write? And you will not write. It needs to be simple for you to write. You talk, you cannot talk. If I start to think about what I'm going to say, I will not say anything. It needs to be simple. And that is something that you need to learn. And what do I mean by learning? Most people think that learning is to add data. I say that the spirit knows, and my teaching is actually removing data. I don't add data. I don't add anything. I just remove lies. When you remove lies, you will start to see the light, and all of a sudden you'll know what to do without anyone telling you. I will not need to tell you what to do. When I will clean enough nonsense from your head, you will simply know. And when you know, you become you. And you are perfect. Everyone is perfect. Even the worst criminal is perfect. And anything that is not perfect is not him, but only as long as you allow everyone else to be as perfect as you. So most people are not succeeding because they're not looking at perfection at themselves. And they're definitely not looking at perfection at other people or other things. They're always finding, oh, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. They're always looking for what's wrong. And they think that by finding something wrong, they will fix something. You don't fix anything by finding something wrong. You fix things by finding what's right. And this is very different viewpoint, but it works. It works so well that anyone that come to my seminars, if someone come to my seminar and pay me, and let's say you came to my seminar and you paid me, and you define whatever goal you want for the seminar, what you want to achieve from the seminar. If you didn't achieve it, not only that you don't pay me, I pay you.
Yes.
Because it always work. It always work. Not only sometimes, it always work. It always work perfectly. And you get always much more than you expected.
That's why you are giving guarantee for your results for your mentees and coaches.
Yeah, I give 100% guarantee. You come to my seminar, you will be in a session. By the end of the session, you will know that you got the result. If you didn't get the result, I don't mind. Don't tell me what the result that you want. If you didn't get the result that you define, you don't pay me. I pay you.
Yeah, that's an amazing one. Next question, Mr. Mir. Of course, with age and experience, you gain a lot of knowledge, but at the same time, you were able to do that amazing thing when you were 27, 26 years old. So my question, did you have the same mindset and that confidence as you have now then also? Or what is the difference between now and you?
I'll tell you what I think. I think that the only problem a person has is his experience.
Yes.
Why? Because your experience, your past is what limits you. You can say that the past is the sum of all your limitation. If people will work according to the experience, we will never fly. We will never have an iPhone. We will never have a boat. We will never have anything because the experience said that it's impossible.
Oh, yeah.
The only way for you to improve is to know not to rely on your experience. You'll see that as people get older, a child goes around and everything is possible. You take a piece of wood and this wood is an airplane, and this wood is a car 5 seconds later. And he can do anything because he has no experience that he knows of. So for him, everything is possible. Young people at the age of 18, 19, 20 have no experience and they want to change the world. And they're going and doing amazing things because they have no experience. They get to the age of 30 and they've learned. They've learned to be careful. And the more you learn to be careful, the more you rely on your experience, The slower you get, the more useless you get. And at the end, when you have a lot of experience, it kills you.
Yeah, I read something yesterday. It's an amazing coincidence with yours because when a child is born 2 years, 3 years time, the creativity is 98%, whereas by 30 years, it is only 2%. So what you
Yes.
say is exactly matching with that one. Yes.
Yeah. It's definitely your biggest enemy. It sounds weird, but your biggest enemy is your experience.
Okay. Okay.
Experience
Are
is
we,
just a version of your past. Do you know do you know how will you define the word insanity? How will you, what would you say? What is insanity? How will you define the word insanity?
Hmm,
What is insanity? What is when a person is insane? What does it mean that he is insane?
yeah, expecting
How will,
something not going to happen, but
okay,
still they believe in.
okay, good. So insanity is actually attention stuck in the past.
Yes.
when when something happen in front of you, if you don't have past, it will not make you afraid, it will not make you upset, it will not make you anything. You will look at that and you will be sane. You will look at that and you will decide what to do. But when you look at something and you get upset, what upsetting you is not what's in front of you, but what it reminds you of. You
Hmm.
understand? For example, if I'll go with you and I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wow, and you will jump, yes, because usually you will jump, yes. When I will come again and I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you go in your mind, oh, he's going to shout, yes, and you are now worried and you're ready for that thing. Why? Not because of what I've done, but because your experience, your past, tell you that you need to be careful, and at that moment you become useless.
Yeah, fear of failure is always putting us not to take even actions.
Yes, it's actually you worried something in the present reminds you of something that happened in the past, so you don't really interpret the present correctly, but you actually interpret it based on the past, and it's always wrong. Your basic problem is your past. You see, the people that don't succeed will tell you, well, this is what happened to me when I was 3 years old, and this was my parents, and this is what happened to me with this boss, and this is what happened to me with that. And they tell you about all the things that happened to them.
Mhm.
It's the past,
Right.
the past controlling them. So for them, there is no future. In order for you to be successful, you need to delete, or not to delete, to eliminate the past, to wipe the past.
That's
And you
true.
need to learn how to do that.
That's
Because
true.
for as long as you have past, you don't have your abilities. And that's why you see that people have unbelievable potential and very little result. The
Mhm.
difference between the potential and the result is the past. You see that a child have huge potential and excellent result to his potential.
Yeah.
As he go along, the potential stayed the same, but the result go down.
Mhm.
Why? Because he rely on his past.
Right. So when we
So your
talk about,
past is your enemy.
yeah, so you have to believe in you, and of course you have to have in an imaginary lifestyle or whatever dream, so that you can connect that. Don't connect to the past and think about the difficult time you had. That's an amazing point. And second thing I would like to ask, how do you define or how do you understand the delegation? Because when we try to do more things, we try to get more people around, and when we don't have sometimes the capacity or the experience or what, still we have to do it. So I believe it has to be with delegation or connecting with other people's support. Is it something right, or I'm totally against the wrong direction?
Basically, in order to expand, there are two things to do. Number one, you need to use your full potential. And I have not found one person on earth that started to work with me that used more than 10% efficiency.
Yeah.
Most people have an efficiency of not more than 10%.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'll take a person, an average person, an average executive, and I tell him, okay, tell me what you produced in the last day. Produce, not motion, not what you do. What
Okay.
result did you bring?
Okay.
You will see that the results are very, very limited. You have a lot of actions, you meet a lot of people, you talk to a lot of people, you answer a lot of WhatsApp, a lot of emails, a lot of things, zero income,
Yes.
zero result, very, very tiny result in relationship to the actions. So the first thing before delegation, most of the time, delegation is just an excuse not to become efficient. Most of the time, delegation is an excuse not to become efficient. So the
Mm-hmm.
first thing before you delegate, you need to become efficient. The second thing you need to do is you need to write or to have a method of training the person that you're going to delegate to. Why? Because people looking for good people when they're hiring someone or taking someone, they're looking for good people. And the secret is that there's no such thing as a secret pool of good people.
Mm-hmm.
Good people are non-existent. Good people you create.
Yes.
It's like a marriage. You don't find a complete match. You don't. You need to create the marriage. If you don't create the marriage, it will not hold. Because most people say, well, I met her, I love her, she loves me, she looks good, I look good. They get together, they get married, and everything falls. Why? Because they don't understand that you need to create it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So when you take a person to help you, it's much like a marriage. You need to create it because no one is perfect for the other person. And how do you do that? You need to learn how to train the person in such a way that he will understand 100%, not 90, 100%. And then if he's not doing what he's supposed to do, because you know that he understands 100%. If he didn't do what he's supposed to do, you know that the problem is not training, the problem is ethics. It's not ethical. And then you know what to fix. Because for as long as you don't know that you trained him 100%, when he's not doing something good, you will think that he just don't know yet.
Yeah.
And you will go for 1-2 years to recognize that he's actually cheating you and stealing from you and doing all kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
So you need, first of all, ability to train him to 100%, because otherwise the headache that he will create you will be 10 times than you doing it yourself.
Yes, it is correct. Yes.
Number one, learn how to train him. If you know how to train him, then it's very simple. If he's not doing what he's supposed to do, the problem is ethics, and you either fix his ethics or not, but it's your call, and it's very simple to recognize and fix it if you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. So ethics can be fixed, you think, or we had to get rid
Everything,
of the person?
everything can be fixed. There's nothing that cannot be fixed. If you know something, you can control it. If I know how to drive a car, I can control a car. If I know how the mind works, I can fix the mind. If I know how ethics work, I can fix ethics. So if someone cannot fix something, he's just saying, I don't know how it works.
Right.
So when people started to understand how, I don't know, how the heart works, they started to fix hearts. Before that, it was God. Well, I don't know, God make my heart not working. Yes.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's not God and it's not anything. When you know, you can fix. If you cannot fix something, you don't know it.
Right. Yes. So it is all about the first topic, surprising state of mind of a winner. Of course, it's all with the mindset and thinking. The second topic, the second day, Mr. Mia is going to talk about is why don't you have money? So can you give some description about this one? So with that,
Yeah.
I really want to appreciate your time.
Yeah. That's very simple. You don't have money because you're not Jewish.
So in mindset, at least we can cover.
No, why don't you have money? It was a joke. Why don't you have money? Because you don't know what money is. I know it sounds amazing, but if I'll ask any person right now to tell me what money is, you cannot define money. You will tell me that money is currency. You use it to buy things. You'll tell me what you're doing with money, but you'll not tell me what is money. And because no one knows what actually money is, they cannot make money. Simple. If you will know what money is, you will understand how to make money. And yeah, so this is what we will go over in that talk. I will explain what is money. I will explain what you need to do once you know what it is. And actually, it will be so simple for you to realize how to get money that it will be like, that's all. And I say yes, and people will tell me, no, I don't believe it. And I say, good, just do that drill, do that exercise, and you'll see money will show up in your account. And they say, what do you mean, without doing anything? I said, without doing anything, just do that, there will be money. People will come to you and give you money.
Yeah, making money is a science, so it should follow the formula. As long as we follow the formula, it should make really correct. But at the same time, many people don't know. So that is why this particular event, Business Mastery 2020, it's an amazing opportunity for everyone to come because it is Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Even if you by chance miss Friday just because of work, Saturday, Sunday is there. You have no explanations or justification for your future. It's an amazing opportunity. Mr. Mia, thank you so much for your time. And
What
I'm
time am I going to be on? What time am I going to be on? If people
we are going to be there. The first day, Mr. Mia's time is 2 o'clock, 2 p.m.
Okay.
And Saturday, we are going to have somewhere around 3 p.m.
Okay, so Friday on 2 p.m. and Saturday on 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Yes.
Okay, good, perfect. Good.
Thank you
good
so
to know.
much. Anybody, of course, I am giving still some free ticket just because of complimentary. You can get a VIP free ticket if you just connect with me, or otherwise you can simply go to events.canadainvestorsclub.com. events.canadainvestorsclub.com. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you very much. Thank you for everyone that watching us and listening. I'll just say hi to Raymond. I see Raymond here, and he's a Facebook user. Yes, I'm still awake. It's, I think, about 2, almost 3 a.m. in my place, and I'm just starting the day. And I've got Vijaya here. Hi. And we've got people on Instagram. Mariah, I see. And I see, yeah, it's hard to say. And John Perro is here, and Zalman, I think. And yes, there's quite a few people here. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
You.
I hope many other speakers are going to be in this one. Mr. Raymond Aron and Alfonso Caudra and James McNeil and Ahmed and probably another friend of mine, Manny Baines. Thank you so much for everybody. We will meet again tomorrow with another speaker with a lot of content like this one. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.